Hey there channel, so we're doing the chicken thigh cutlets with Lane's honey barbecue and American mustard. So first things first, I'm going to open this up, give them a nice rinse, and we're going to smash some mustard on there, then some marinade, and then flame it up in the just like. So first things first, we're going to rinse this chicken. So what you want to do, you're going to clean these, take all the crap off them. There's a nice one. And mind the audio, but be quite quiet because chicken wings are dead. These actually really decent cuts from Coles. The fire. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to get these nice pat, get them nice and dry. Then we're going to put the mustard on there like the last video of the drumsticks. And then I'm going to cake it in the lanes. So I'll show you how it's done in snap. Alright, so chicken's all nice and washed, nice and dry. Now we've got the fun part. Now they do say use yellow mustard, but American mustard should still be the same. So I've got to slather these in mustard. Let's squirt it on. I'm going to lightly rub it into the meat. The reason why I do this is just so it kind of just soaks in the marinade a little bit better. It's got to lightly massage it. Very messy process, but well worth it for the flavour. And I'm going to wash the mustard after I do this. So let's put a bit more in there. That's beautiful. Next one up. And like I said, I'm going to be quiet in this video until I get out to the main station because, yeah, I've got the family in bed, so I can't go any too loud, otherwise I get yelled at. So anyway, just slather that mustard in, and it smells so good. It's American mustard as well, so any Americans watching this, you know how good your mustard is, and it's behind. Okay. Now I'd rather mustard on hot dogs, but surprisingly, it tastes pretty good on chicken. Slather a bit more of that on there. Yep, beautiful. Right, so I'm gonna quickly wash my hand. That's a ugh, and I'll show you what the next scene's like in Snap. Can't click it like Snap. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to use the Lane's honey barbecue. Use on everything. Now it's supposed to be the best on chicken, so yeah, let's just completely go to town. I'm going to completely cake this in there. That's a nice thick layer on top. Now what we're going to rotate. And yes, we have got bottom layers, but they will all roughly be evenly coated. So rotate these. Ones from the bottom up. Oh, this smells so good. It's a shame I'm doing this on gas. This would be unreal on charcoal, which the original recipe was actually on charcoal. But anyway, it's gone on a griddle, so it should taste pretty good. Alright, one more allow. Smash that around. A little more on there. Now, this might be overkill to some, but a lot of videos I've been watching recently, a lot of people, they just go crazy on the dry rubs. So if I had a top on this, I'll just shake it around, but I think that should be pretty good. That's a decent amount. So anyway, in the next scene, I'll be firing up the griddle, and you'll see the griddle firing up, and then the chicken going in just like snap. We'll say snap because I can't click the fingers. Alright, rightio. So, sorry for the quiet audio. It is about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't want to wake the family up, so I'm going to crack the gas. We are going to flame the slate up to full heat, as per usual. And we've got no gas going on. That's better. Okay. So, I'm going to flame her up. Not like the Z, not like flaming up motherfuckers. But I'm going to flame it up. I'm going to oil her up. I'm going to wait for this to preheat. Then I want to cut the gas down to, I'll say low to mid. And then the ones that we made up inside, we've made these up inside. So that is from Lane's Barbecue. That is the honey barbecue, which is a new flavor. I've always wanted to try this one ever since I've seen it. They do recommend to cook this on charcoal, but the griddle cooks pretty good, cooks pretty hot, cooks pretty quick. So I'm gonna give that about 5 minutes, wait it to fire up, and these shouldn't take too long to cook. That's why I said get it right up to heat, and then we're gonna low and slow kind of cook. Yeah, good. Alright, next scene, you can see me putting the meat on just like snap. Alright, so slate griddle is all nice and warm now. It should actually be extremely hot. So what we're going to do before we put the chicken on, we're going to put the outer burners down to middle heat. I'm going to turn the middle off, put the other outer burner on mid heat. This should sizzle very fast. I was going to use a grill, like a grill insert, but trial and error, as I say, until I learn this thing properly. So let's see how we go. Number 1. Oh. And you can tell she's hot. I was almost actually going to buy another gas bottle for it yesterday. So I thought I might have been running low on gas, because for anyone who follows and watches the channel all the time, the last video that I did when I was cooking the ribs, the beef ribs, it took a long time to cook those, and probably shouldn't take that long to cook those, but it was a modified raised heat. But anyway, let's see how we go with these. These smell gorgeous. Okay, so the trick is with these, what you want to do, you want to make sure you've got the griddle nice and oily, but don't use too much oil, because too much oil will take the flavour away. Oil is mainly used just to keep it stuck to the plate and kind of lock the flavour in. But too much oil, that's not good, and that's actually not really that good for your health. So the way I usually do this, I'll get them going and I'll flip them. Now a lot of people say, oh, why are you flipping it so quick? The reason why I flip it so quick is because what you want to do is you want to start the base of the meat. You want to start the base of the meat without it sticking. So all that marinade and what crap you see there, what will happen if you leave that on consistent heat for too long, it will stick. You don't want it to stick. So what I generally do is I'll spray a bit around there, and then sometimes on top of that I'll give a quick hint of oil, but I'll just rotate, because you don't want meat sticking to your barbecue. The worst thing you can do. It's more messier, and it burns it really quick. But what we're trying to do, as I haven't got a temperature gauge on this barbecue as yet, so I'm looking into getting one. I'm going to close the lid. I'm going to keep the lid closed for approximately 2 to 5 minutes. Now what that should do, that should raise the heat from one side, cook it roughly, I'd say about halfway through. And then I'm going to rotate it back over. I don't want it too dark. I want it lightly browned. I don't want it dry, because dry chicken, it just tastes like crap. And the idea I got with these, I bought myself some nice rolls. So actually I want to tear these apart, cut them up, butter up some rolls, put them in rolls, and I've got some pasta salad and some potato salad. So I want to give that a go and see how they taste. I was going to buy some coleslaw, but I thought, nah, let's see how they go. Anyway, I'll show you how to look in just like snap. That's the next one. Ooh, you hear those juices sizzling. That sounds, I'd almost say orgasmic. But, yeah, you'll be able to see. That's exactly what I was trying to say before. So, full white chicken, and that was with closed griddle lid. Now the griddles don't close that low. Oh, sorry, yeah, the pitch of the lid, it's probably about 200 mil, 250 mil. So you've got to be careful. But we're aiming for roughly that. So not burnt. We don't want burnt, but we don't want underdone. So by cutting the middle burner, what we've done there, you can sort of see that one there is more dark than the others. So this is where, for the newer people barbecues, where a lot of people who watch this, they know their barbecues. This is where you call it indirect heat. So what's happening here, you've got all heat there, virtually low to no heat there. The reason why indirect heat, because it's for lower and slower cooking. You don't want to burn your meat when you go indirect heat. So while these ones here are fired up, like I said, by going indirect, you're rotating the heat. So it's sort of like, if you imagine like a moon rising. It's rising the heat forwards, and it's sort of articulating around the actual barbecue itself. So what we're going to do here is we're going to chuck it on burner 1, because that is very hot. The reason why I'm doing this, like a lot of people are like, oh, why are you doing that when you want to cook indirect heat? Well, the reason why, because from indirect cooking that, it should have, now correct me if I'm wrong, it should have actually put the internal heat into the meat, where you can see there, that's external burn. So internal cooking is what you want. You want the heat to be inside the meat before you get it external. Especially with chicken. The chicken, you want that to cook from the inside out. Because if you cook from the outside in, you're going to have either nice skin, and then a piece inside, or it's just going to taste like crap. So what we're going to do here, once you hear it sizzle, I'm going to chuck a little bit more oil in there, and I'm going to do a few rotates. So that's nice and brown there, but if you actually look at that, that's like rubber skin still. So yeah, this is actually getting way too hot. That's way too much heat there. So what you can do there, fluctuate your barbecue, put them to another side. Turn your burners right down to low. You want these too low, because like that is still edible, but it's not what you're aiming for. You're aiming for a nice even brownness in there. A few more oil. Now I might sound like a hypocrite, as I said before, not too much oil, but it will help lubricate the cook. And the good thing by doing this, especially on the griddle, while it's doing that, you want to clean all your crap. So all your excess marinade and any let's say reminiscences of don't use shit, but anything that come off that meat, you want to clean that while you can off the grill so that it doesn't actually damage your plates. Yeah. I'm going to rest that there for now. Now, what happens with the meat as well? So once you've got it to the point where you've burnt all of that crap off, you'll generally find that's taking that layer, and I find it, now, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, you generally find when you're cooking, once you've taken that layer of the excess marinade or sauce or whatever off the meat, it won't cause as much as a mess on the barbecue. So this is when I always say, just keep lightly oiling it. Don't go too crazy on the oil. Just keep lightly oiling this, because you're keeping the grill lubricated, you're keeping the meat moist. Now you can, like I said on some of my last videos, you can either be using, you can use water to help that. It's a lot healthier than using oil, but water tends to burn up easier than oil. As everyone knows, heat and water, it just disintegrates in no time. Or you can use pineapple juice. Pineapple juice generally goes pretty good. You generally do that kind of thing on ribs, but it does work with chicken. I haven't tried it yet, but I have done a bit of research on this. So anyhow, enough of my probably so-called bullshit textbooks. We're going to let this go for a little bit longer. Yeah, one more rotation, and I'll show you what these look like when they come off. Just like snap. Okay, so what we're doing now, this is the last flip, and then we're going to take them off. So, you can see, roughly where we want it. To be honest, that is exactly where I want this, so that isn't where I want it, but that's marinade. So, what we're doing now, and off to the side for 5 minutes. And what we're going to do, is let it go for that flip, one more flip. So I wouldn't even say 5 minutes, say about 2.5 minutes. Then we're going to put it into the tray, and then you can sleep. Right, so this is what you pretty much call done. So what you're aiming for, nice white juicy chicken. So you get the tongs in there. Just want to see that nice and white. And off the camera I cut the gas because it was starting to get too hot. So you take it off. And yeah, like I said before, the reason why it's dark, like I said, especially white chicken. The reason why it's dark is that's because there's mustard and there's marinade in there. So I'm gonna let them cool down. I'm gonna chop them up. I'm gonna chuck them into some rolls, and I gotta clean this barbecue because that is a little bit messy. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Please send ideas what you want to see me cook. I'm thinking maybe a curry sometime soon. I'll have to get some new toys out for that, but yeah, be awesome. Peace.